Hi everybody, Judy Parcell here. I thought I would talk to you about something that I just discovered. We used to have phone calls that were boring. Now we got Zoom calls that can be very boring. And it just seems like there's an increase of them in my life. And I thought, my hands have to be busy. I have to be doing something during these calls. So I thought I would just draw. And I did this simple drawing during a 1 hour Zoom. Usually that's what people want to spend about an hour with you, whether it's with my family or on a business call or whatever. And the wonderful thing about Zoom is they don't know that I'm drawing, so I'm not rude. And so I want to show you how I came up with something that was fun and spontaneous. And I did this with in pencil first, and then I later on after the call scanned it in to Photoshop, and just to show you the drawing part. And then here's the pen and ink part. And what I did was I took a piece of regular paper, and I don't know, I've repositioned my iPad here. Okay. And I started out in one corner, and I never go into the corner itself. I started out kind of loose like this, and did some like free hand spirals, sort of like this. Can't see that, can you? Okay. And I might have done something that was like this before I even got on the phone. I set this out as a template for doing something else. Okay. Now I have no idea what I'm going to create off of this. So I looked at the shapes, and they're talking whatever they're talking about. And I thought, well, this looks like a flower, possibly a flower. It's rounded. That could be something. And this could be something entirely different. So I started here, and I kind of got an idea, and I put a core in it. Now all these lines are guides. That's all I'm using them for. And I put a center there, and I took on one thing at a time. And I just did a little bit of this type of drawing in the circles. And I thought, okay, what kind of flower do I want? I think I'm going to make this kind of a tight one, maybe a chrysanthemum. Now remember, I'm not a botanist, so I'm going to just draw pseudo flowers. That's what we call them. Just as long as they look like flowers. Now, I'm not worrying about the pencil lines right now. I am just creating this very tight zinnia. That's the flower I'm thinking of right here. I love zinnias because they just grow and grow and grow. Actually, that's a very good idea for my garden this spring, to get some zinnia seeds. You know, you go into the nurseries, and you say, oh, you know, and you're all excited, and you want to do, like, we'll say, oh, well, we're not going to carry any, or we can't get any, or whatever. And growing from seed is so difficult. So sometimes gardening can be disappointing in that regard. So I'm just doing these loops around this and creating a flower. And then as I get further out, my thought is to make it a little freer, you know, looking. and kind of tighten the center and freer on the outside. This kind of leads to doing something else. So this could be a pretty big flower. And you know, this is all spontaneous, and you just look up once in a while in the Zoom call, let them think you're paying attention. Alright, that looks pretty good. I might put some little pistils, what we call them, in here, in the center. And I thought, these have leaves, so, and they're pretty big leaves, I think. I'm going to make them kind of jagged on the edge. I don't know if that's true of zinnias or not, but like I said, I'm not a botanist. So what are you planting in your garden this spring? Now, you know my videos go up on my Facebook, so under the video you might type a little message like what you're going to be planting in your garden this year. You know, Facebook can be highly participating. It doesn't have to be reserved to silly little one-line sentences. You can do really productive things on Facebook. Now, for all the criticism that Facebook and Google gives us, never throw the baby out with the bathwater. That is totally free platform for you to be creative on. And, you know, don't look a gift horse in the mouth. You know, all those sayings, because they really are valid today. There we go. That's a pretty flower. I'm just talking to you. So, see, I could be talking on Zoom now and still creating this. Now, I thought I'd like to make this into some kind of a, I don't know what they're called, but they're like a bunch of little bells on a stem. Little fat things. I'm going to pull this down a little bit because this is awkward for me right now. I'm trying a new position with my iPad to see if it's going to work out better for me. You know, when you draw, you can, all of a sudden you feel a pain here and a pain there, and you go, well, I guess I better move the position of this and that. I have to turn this because it's more. I changed the position on this because I wanted to be confident that I wasn't drawing outside of the video. This may work out better, hopefully. I'm just making this up as I go, and I'm carrying on a conversation with you, not really thinking. So, as far as the spontaneity meter goes, this is pretty good. Ah. I think I'll end that right there. Get rid of this line. Uh-oh, dirty eraser. Oh, well, it's all going to be finished off later in pen and ink. Doesn't matter, I'm cleaned up in Photoshop. You can do so much in Photoshop. So I'll do that. And then, what do I want to do with this? I might want to come down and kind of go like this and like this and bring out another one. Maybe make that overlap. What have we got here? So, why don't I go like this and like this? I don't know what these are. I'm just kind of making this up as I go. I really should do that way. Yeah. Get rid of that line so I don't confuse myself later. I may change some of this later. Don't know. No, wait a minute. Be more generous with that. Okay. I'm going to get rid of this line. I'm already seeing the error of my ways here. Okay, so if that's coming out of there, that's going to come here. These should really be smaller. Yeah. And I might do something like that. That might be interesting. Okay. Racers are wonderful, aren't they? Yes, we can get rid of all these lines we don't want early on. Okay, so alright, so I'm trying to get a grip on this. Okay, and I think I'll end this out like this. And I think I'll make this open. I don't know what it is. And we'll put some pestils coming out of here. 3 is always good. 3 or 5. So we don't know what kind of flower that is. But we'll have this kind of going like this. I'm just making it up as I go. And then this one I thought I'd bring it out like this. There we go. Make it up. Now you notice I'm talking to you, so I can draw and talk at the same time. That's about the only multitasking I can do before losing it. Yeah. Oh, this could be the inside of that, huh? There we go. All right. So I think I need to do another flower here. What kind, though? And I might do something like this, because that's a space that needs to be filled in right there. I'm just going to leave that, because I'm just seeing that. Oh, you know what? I could do a kind of a trumpet vine thing here. this like this. And if I can remember how those look, we'll get rid of that line. They kind of, they're kind of like this. They're like, oh, I know what we're going to do. We're going to do a Venus flytrap here. Yes, ma'am. This is so much better because I have to think on the fly here. Okay, so I think they got little dots like this on them. Sorry, I did not have that up for you to see. Which reminds me, I could do strawberries in here too. Why not do fruits and berries and all kinds of things? Get rid of that line. There we go. I don't know if that's accurate. So, let's see, there's that and that. And I could hang some berries from here. Now, I remember from doing blackberries how the stems looked. And it was like this, and like this, and then they had leaves like this, and then they came down like this. Remember those? Yeah. And then they had a leaf that was jagged. So I'm just sort of drawing along. I'm not... These had multi-prong things for the berries to grow off of. Yeah. I don't worry about this shape because right here, because I'll probably get rid of it because I'm expanding out with ideas of what to do with the berries. And there's another one. Okay. So I'll make this a blackberry leaf. Whatever comes up. There we go. And then I could see another blackberry here. The more I think about this, the more I realize that's more like that. Now, we might want to do a flower. Well, let's give this a stem. Am I there with you? I'm not. Okay. So let's give this a little bit of thickness. Erase this line, not to make it confusing. I think you're getting the idea that this is just very spontaneous work going on. And, I don't know, this could be a fern. So we'll do something kind of like this, and like this. I don't know if that's going to be right. I want that lower. Oh, I know what it is I want to put in here. This is kind of like a Roman, something or other here. And then we kind of get further and further away from the stem, making it fuller. And this has a curly Q, just like that. And, you know, these kind of go like this. There, that's a good plan as any. Don't you like that? That's just wonderful. I think right here I'm going to shape out a flower that you see from the side. It could be a poppy. Poppy would be nice, yeah. And then maybe some more raspberries going like this. And this is some kind of a squarish flower. See how that kind of develops? Yeah. So I'm just going to leave that there because I'm kind of filling in spaces. And, yep, I want to repeat this again somewhere. So I want to go. Okay. Okay. So this is like, okay. The little stem here. These will be little short ones. Okay. Now they have little leaves on the top of them, and you can go like this, and like this, and like this. These might be kind of red berry ones. And this is like this, and like this. Drop her down. Okay. Okay. What else? I need something coming out around the behind there. Sometimes just a squiggle. Anyway, that kind of gives you an idea. I think that's enough for now. And we'll get rid of the other lines. I was going with pen and ink, I think, and do it. I should stop and do this in pen and ink. Okay, do I have a pen and ink pen? I do. I have one here. Now, usually by the end of the conversation, which is an hour, I've only got the pencil drawing done. But I have an idea of what I want to do. And then when I come in with the pen and ink, I finish it off. Let me move this like this. Okay. I can make the adjustments if I think it needs adjustments. I can do that with the pen. Got a little crabby mouth, doesn't he? This is a curled up Venus flytrap. I think you're getting the idea of what you can do here. Alright, so alright, I'll start here. There's some kind of a berry. We're not sure what it is. Could be berries. You know it's a berry when you look at it. Alright? Okay. I grossly over-exaggerate the leaves to give them character. Okay. Get that jagged leaf going. I think I will make this leaf much smoother because I want to distinguish it between the blackberry and the other. Okay. we know that blackberry leaves have this kind of jagged look to them. Okay. I might make that a little shape different, but I don't want it to look like a blackberry leaf. Can you see that okay? You can. Alright. So, see how that's developing? Now we want to go into the center and get this flower. And I don't know if I want to stick with those pistils. I may change that. But I pretty much want to continue with this idea here. And then like that. Now it's funny, I am just talking to you without thinking much, and I'm producing this flower, so I do know that would happen in a Zoom conversation, or even better yet, a telephone conversation, so you don't have to worry about your eye contact. Now, in some of my Zoom meetings, I'm required to take notes, so they think I'm writing notes. But if I know the topic well, I don't have to write notes. I'm pretty good about remembering conversations with people. That's fine. I don't know if I told you that I'm going to come up with a whole new line of cards, different from what I had. I got some ideas. And where I live, Bigfoot is, or Sasquatch is a big topic. So I've got a whole line of cards of those, and I sell those cards like crazy. Not just to tourists, but to the locals, because some people have actually seen those creatures, I being one of them. You know, they always show the male, but I thought I'd do some of the females, because some of them, in their own exotic way, are quite beautiful. And they have very long hair. And because they're considered to be a very human-like, I thought I'd put them in some poses that are human-like, but with humor, because if I drew what I really saw, I'd scare people to death. Ah. Okay. Got some more blackberries here. You know, when I walk in the summer, I pick my own blackberries. And they're so easy when they're ripe to pick. And then my neighbor grows raspberries. And I've worked out a deal with her, a barter deal with her, just for the raspberries, because I love my summer smoothies. What can I say? Yeah. Okay. It's like, what do they call that plant? Oh, little flowers on it. Can't think of it right at the moment. But you can see that when you do the pen and ink, it goes really fast. I'll have to check the time on this video and see. Can't believe how fast YouTube is loading up videos today, too. That's really nice. Alright. Alright, so I'm going to do this part. And try to get you a view of the whole thing. Let's get this spine in. Yep. Now, the more you draw and the more you use your imagination, the more creative you will become. And also, look at the way other artists do their art. How they think about things. Yeah, it goes like that. So I decided to do little curvies there. Yeah. To make that a little bit more interesting. And then some pistils, we call them. I think we call them pistils. 3 or 5, guys. Remember the odd numbers. Here's another one I didn't see here. There we go. There, it's just about done. I wanted to kind of develop this flower out. I don't know what it is, but it'll work. It's there. Yeah. Now I think that's enough. That fills up the screen. But just to give you an idea of what you can do, I'll bring this out a little bit. There. Of what you can do doodling during a boring conversation or video call. Thank you for joining me in my studio, and I hope you have a great day. Talk at you later.